Hello and welcome to the ECEDC annual meeting of investors. Hopefully this will be the first and last virtual meeting, but we do want to take this opportunity to connect with our stakeholders and thank them for the continued investment and support in ECEDC. Looking back to the beginning of the year, January, February, which seems like three years ago, Erie County was poised to enjoy economically a banner year. And literally towards the end of February, everything abruptly changed. And as businesses were closed and stay-at-home orders were executed, all of a sudden ECEDC pretty much transitioned into an economic development workforce engine to a crisis center for our businesses. And I'm proud of the staff, Abby, Sarah, and Lindsay, how we then communicated with our businesses about the pandemic and safety protocols and all things concerned. Fortunately, as the year moved forward, we then kind of transitioned out of that mode back into conducting business, helping businesses restart. And today, you're going to find out that the ECEDC has under its umbrella bringing on some new activities, which we're very proud of. Again, thank you investors for your support, and I'll turn things over to our Executive Director, Abby Bemis.
Thanks, Ted. Hi, everybody. I will echo Ted's sentiments that we greatly wish that we were at Kalahari with you and enjoying these updates with a cocktail and refreshments, but y'all know why that can't be this year, but he is right. It is important for us to still take a moment, pause, celebrate, express our gratitude to all of you for the work that you support, the work that you allow us to do. It is meaningful and it's making a difference in our community. So we're excited to share some updates with you throughout this program today. Again, all made possible with your support. It's also a chance to reconnect with our team. As Ted said, Sarah Ross, our program manager, Lindsay Hoke, our office manager, who you won't see on screen today, but she is the one that helps ECEDC run smoothly and make events like this possible. And you'll meet our new workforce development team, Kelly Beatty and Alex Jones. We want to be brief today in the interest of your time, but just know that your feedback is really welcome at our organization and throughout the program. So as you move your mouse around the screen, you find a chat function at the bottom. Send us your comments. You know, what are your thoughts on the issues that you're seeing in the community, on the work that we're doing, on what we should be doing in the future. And then, of course, stay in touch after the program. This is actually the start to an all hands on deck marketing campaign that we're launching for the remainder of the year, which will highlight our work and highlight all of you as investors and just the important community work you've done throughout this somewhat challenging year. So thank you. If you're joining the program, you probably already know this, but at Erie County Economic Development Corporation, we work across three key areas: business development, workforce development, and regional development. All of these things are in an effort to build a strong community and opportunities for our residents. It's all possible, and none of it would happen without your support, of course. So as a public-private partnership, we want to pay tribute to the 63 diverse, community-minded, future-focused organizations that support our work. And I greatly want to thank them for their vision and support and recognizing that economic development is important in good times and in bad. And a special shout out to who you see on the screen here now, our board of directors who helped shape our vision and our work at ECEDC. So jumping into key accomplishments of 2019 and 2020, We, of course, have to start with this storyline. It was the major storyline of the economy this year, and as Ted mentioned, became a major part of our work at our organization. I know it was a difficult time for our communities. I know it's been a difficult time for many of your businesses, but I also talk with people every day who acknowledge how much the pandemic also highlighted our strengths, our ability to come together as a community, our ability to problem solve. And I love that connection with economic development, this idea of problem solving, bringing together resources, bringing together people, is sort of core to what we've always done. And so it really is not a huge surprise to me that we did jump in to try to provide support to local businesses during this global crisis. So from March to May, as Ted said, sort of command center, we were focused on advocacy, really wanting appropriate regulations for your businesses. We were actively supporting many companies with financial support, application to federal programs, and then, as Ted said, supporting you with essential operations and appropriate safety measures. We did so through a huge variety of mediums, sort of guerrilla communications. We had a very popular webinar series. We continue an email briefing series of key information, a lot of direct consultations, social media, you name it. Altogether, we were able to reach 1,000 unique business leaders in the community. And we consulted a lot of different organizations and people to be able to do this. So thank you to the supporters that we consulted at almost every level of government, a lot of community institutions, even local businesses. The Chef's Garden and Hody Enterprises jumped on a few of our series to share their expertise. And I want to especially recognize the Erie County Health Department, who were just a really consistent ally for our organization, hopefully to all of you in the business community. It's been a tough time. Just know that we are optimistic about the recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. Initial and continuing unemployment claims continue to fall in our region. The momentum that we had built up that Ted referenced, it's built on strengths of our community. Those strengths are still here, and we're going to leverage them into the future for a brighter 2021. And with that, I want to focus on that work for the remainder of the program. So to start, I'm going to pass it over to Sarah Ross to talk about how we support entrepreneurs at our organization.
Thank you, Abby. So as Ted kind of alluded to earlier, when you think back and try to think about the 2019 to 2020 accomplishments, it's really hard to take your mind all the way back to 2019. It feels like it was 5 years ago. But I pulled a couple highlights from 2019 and 2020 in our entrepreneurship efforts. So at ECEDC, the way that we support entrepreneurship is through RISE. RISE is the regional incubator for sustainability and entrepreneurship. And we support businesses across all stages of development and all industries. But we do have a specialty in kind of the new startups and quickly growing businesses. So I just put here a little bit about our performance in 2019. And you'll see we've grown quite a bit since the program's inception in 2011 to the level of having 90 one-on-one business advising sessions. So through RISE, our primary service to support entrepreneurship are these business advising sessions where we're able to provide technical assistance, milestone mentoring, and some of those critical connections that Abby mentioned, so important in all of our work at ECEDC. So we're really excited about the amount of entrepreneurs that are now kind of part of our RISE family. And one way that we were really able to see a lot of growth in 2019 was through a very unique public-private partnership that came about. Really thanks to Rick and Megan Hogarty from H2 Properties. They gathered ECEDC and RISE, as well as the City of Sandusky, Lake Erie Shores and Islands, the Chamber of Commerce, all around the table to support this Emerging Sandusky Business Grant Program. And so one of our big accomplishments between 2019 and 2020 was just announced today that RISE is actually being awarded from the International Economic Development Council the Gold Award in Entrepreneurship for communities under 200,000 population. So I've just put here on the screen some of the outcomes of that program. And really what RISE was able to do was recruit and then support entrepreneurs to fill the spaces in these buildings that H2 Properties is redeveloping. So supported an economic development investment project, but also entrepreneurship on the RISE side. So that program, one of our key accomplishments from 2019 was kind of our office's first dip into grant programming directly from our office. And it's a good thing that we had practice because it turns out in the COVID world that that's what small businesses have needed more than anything else. So this year, our big accomplishment in the RISE program is $70,000 in direct grant support to small businesses. Back in April, we were fortunate to work with the Dorn Foundation and the Erie County Community Foundation to support $20,000 in grants to small businesses and really focusing on those entrepreneurs and small businesses that were doing something in response to mandated shutdowns and new regulations. So trying to find ways to be innovative, creative, new ways to go to market, new platforms, new products, anything that could help them remain relevant. And then we have been able to leverage some federal funding through a partnership with the Erie County Commissioners to deliver a second round of that grant for $50,000. And we look forward to more partnerships to come like that as we continue to recover from this COVID economic crisis. Very proud to say this program was also replicated in Huron County and Ottawa counties, and we continue to expand that regional footprint of RISE. So thank you all for making RISE a possibility. And again, this area of our work focuses on those small and growing businesses, but it's a part of our greater business development efforts. So I would like to hand it back to Abby so she can talk more about our business development programs.
Thanks, Sarah. So yes, as Sarah said, we support a variety of business development efforts. Our work, it's all about driving investment into our communities. We help businesses of all sizes and shapes with critical research, incentives, connections to shorten their speed to get into market and successfully operate. 2019 and 2020 saw diverse investments from an increasingly diverse economy in Erie County. Sarah referenced many small businesses she worked with in the tourism space. We also welcomed the second phase of Mucci Farms operation in agriculture. You've all probably seen the new construction from our investor, Firelands Regional Health System, for a new healthcare center on Perkins Ave. And then we worked with a lot of different manufacturers that continue to grow their business, such as Axo Nobel and PPG and others in 2019. One of the projects that we are most excited about that was actually just announced to the public last night is a redevelopment plan for 2509 Hayes Avenue. Most of you on this call will know that building as the KVI building. Well, we have a great new vision with the developers there that would become home to quality jobs in our region. And it's a pretty transformative project that you'll hear a lot about in the weeks to come. So as we're working with clients and businesses and diverse industries, we are always looking at what are the tools that can support their growth? What are the tools that can mitigate any challenges they're encountering doing business in our area? So two new things that we are bringing under the ECEDC umbrella this year or next year. One is the Erie County Port Authority, which is a valuable tool that can provide real savings to companies making major investments. ECEDC will be taking over management of that organization in 2021. And then next you will hear about Firelands Forward, which is a new workforce development initiative that is coming into the ECEDC umbrella. This program was founded and started by the Firelands Regional Partnership, a coalition of regional business leaders. And we're really excited about what it will make possible. The intention of the program is to create workforce servicers that will support your business in attracting talent, retaining talent, and really developing into the future. So next up, I'm going to hand it to our Firelands Forward team. I want to introduce these new faces here. Kelly Beatty is joining us as a recent graduate of graduate school with her master's in public policy from Miami University. And Alex Jones, we borrowed him today, but he technically starts on Monday. And Alex is a graduate of Ashland University, has worked in community engagement and education. He's coming to us from Sandusky City Schools and was formerly with the Ohio Auditor's Office. I hope these spaces become familiar to you. I know they will be resources for you, along with myself, Sarah, and Lindsay going forward. So with that, I'll hand it over to Alex to introduce himself.
Thanks, Abby. Absolutely thrilled to be here. Like Abby said, they're just borrowing me today, but Monday we're full go, full tilt, and I can't express just how absolutely I'm excited I am to hit the ground running. Sort of done some onboarding this week with the team, and there really isn't a group of people in this area as dedicated to doing what we're doing, like Abby, Sarah, Kelly obviously is a steal. It's a very good place to be. So I'm excited to get on board, excited to get going. But for the meat and potatoes, so to speak, I'm going to hand it over to Kelly, who's been here just a little bit longer than I have. She can fill you guys in. Thanks.
Thank you, Alex, and thanks, Abby. I just want to echo what he said. Also very excited. It's been great to see this rise this summer and be behind the scenes a little bit on getting it started. So like Abby said, huge thank you to the Firelands Partnership for all the work that they did, getting this, from just an idea in everyone's head to an actual, real life organization now. I'm so proud of our community for getting this off the ground. Even with the intense uncertainty that we had this whole year, we were still able to raise funding and get the plan going. And now we have an advisory board seated that is full of absolutely visionary leaders from both Huron and Erie counties who really believe in the value of this initiative and the regional approach that it takes. This really recognizes that our labor force is shared in this area. We are very mobile people where we live and work in different places, and the regional approach here really takes that into consideration. It will also build on work that's already being done by some of our great workforce development organizations in both counties. And it will also build on the work that ECEDC has been doing and some of their accomplishments from 2019 and 2020. Just to name a few, the inaugural Young Professionals Week from North Coast Young Professionals last year, and some of the amazing work that Sarah has done with our Business Advisory Council. So with new dedicated staff here and new funding, we are able to look at workforce development in a fresh and holistic way. And I am just delighted to start working on our pilot projects over the next 90 days. We have some big planning coming up for Alex's first week, gonna hit the ground running. So Firelands Forward is a huge project that I've tried to distill down to just a couple minutes. And I know we've thrown a lot at you today, including some other huge projects. So to circle back and learn a little bit more about each of that and find out how you can learn more yourself, I'm gonna hand it back to Sarah to show off our new website.
Thank you, Kelly. As Kelly mentioned, there's a lot going on at ECEDC, and we're adding more initiatives and more areas of work. So we were very pleased this year to partner with New Day Creative out of Mansfield to redesign our website to hopefully present all of our services to you in the very most clear and concise way possible. So I want to walk you through our new website today. We're at eriecountyedc.org. We're not going to get to see a lot today because we only have a few minutes left, but I hope that you will visit the site after this webinar and dig around yourself or share it with any businesses that you may work with, your suppliers, or even your clients that may need to work with ECEDC. So here on our homepage, again, at eriecountyedc.org, our slider here represents our 3 areas of work that we've talked about today: economic development, workforce development, and regional development. We really want to make that clear that that's what we're focusing our time and efforts on. And when you click on Learn More, or you go to the Our Work tab, this is where you see more in detail what that really means. You'll also see all throughout the website that we feature success stories of companies that we've worked with. So again, on the Our Work tab, our first area of work, economic development, we try to list in basically bullet point format the services that typically come from our offices if you're going to work on a project. So our business retention efforts, this is something, if you haven't been in touch with us directly in the last couple months, we'd love to reconnect here. Our RISE program, we talked a lot about today. And then finally, the Port Authority, which Abby mentioned, just another tool in our toolbox. Workforce development, again, we have Firelands Forward and the Business Advisory Council. And then finally, regional development, some of the partners that we work so closely with to make projects and programs become a reality. So of course, this page really targets you all, the companies that are here now. But another audience that we see all the time is new businesses and people looking to move to the area. So that's where this Why Erie County tab comes into play, where we feature all the great reasons to do business here. Of course, the low cost of doing business in Ohio, and then specifically for Erie County, all the quality of life amenities. And then of course, we have to mention incentives, but we encourage any of you to reach out if you do have a project that may be eligible for incentives. And then finally on this page are featured development properties. So if you don't know, we do keep track and complete requests for information and work with expanding businesses to fill these sites and properties. So if you're looking to grow and you need a site or property, please reach out to us. Or if you have a site or property to list, also please reach out to us. So if it's still not really clear why you might work with us or what area is best to work with us in, I encourage you to visit this Success Stories tab. And again, you'll see it all throughout. And a lot of the recent projects we've worked on are listed here. So look for a business like your size or in your industry and see what kind of projects we might work on with you. So you just click into the story, maybe. And you'll see a brief description of what we did and then quick bullet points of the deliverables we brought to the project. Finally, last thing on the website, which is the always most visited page, about us. People want to know we're real, what kind of organization we are. So here is our information. Here is your all's information, our board of directors and our investors. And again, none of this would be possible without you all. So thank you for your support. I encourage you again to visit eriecountyedc.org after this meeting and see our new design. And so what we're going to leave you with today is one more thing that we worked on with New Day Creative. We've put together a video message for you all. We'll share it after the meeting and would encourage you to share it as well. But we're going to leave you with this video message today. And we just want to say before we do, thank you for being here. Stay safe, stay positive, and stay in touch.
At ECEDC, our work supports entrepreneurs like the ones you find in your downtown coffee shops or retail. It supports big and large industries, the farm, the manufacturer, and it also supports our community as a whole. So we work on things like workforce development, community development in partnership with so many different people.
But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do at ECEDC is grow Erie County. ECEDC's greatest strength is being a private nonprofit organization. It allows us to really work on the same level as our businesses with the support of our public partners.
We're really fortunate to have stakeholders who are as future focused as we are, and what that means is they give us the patience and the support to tackle complicated issues and to be responsive while still being mission driven as an organization.
If they hadn't been a part of this for me, I don't know if I would have been able to launch this business the way that I did, or even stay in this business the way that I did. And they are the thread kind of that weaves throughout all of those conversations. They can do research that's beyond what I even knew was possible just to help me make some decisions about growing my business.
Economic development's important, good times and in bad. For us, it's always good to be investing because it's planting seeds for the future. Every time we do something, we need a little bit help on something different, and they're always there to help us out no matter what the issue is. What I notice with ECEDC is when we say, here's the problem, it's not a no, it's always a, we'll figure it out. And I think that's key, is that you have a willing partner.
To see how they continue to grow and evolve and meet the needs of the businesses in our community has been very exciting to see over the years, whether it's been helping new businesses get started or whether it's helping with workforce development. ECEDC plays a role that's desperately needed in our community. And as I got to learn more and more about ECEDC, about Abby and that team, and the role that they could play with the other entities in Erie County to just help align us on vision and purpose, I knew ECEDC was the right place for me to participate.
We just want to say thank you again to our investors at the organization. Really, you are partners in this community's success and in our organizations, and we're really proud of what we've been able to do with your partnership. So thank you to our partners in education and in local government, and of course, private industry and our investors.